Coach Todd Yeagley, he'll take your questions.
Kind of asked Sam this as well, but was that a big sigh of relief to finally see one go through?
Yeah, I mean, yes, we had plenty of chances again tonight, not as many as, well, actually not even as good a quality chances against Washington, but certainly DePaul, we had plenty. Yeah, I mean, it was the way that they played, and they slowed it down, and every restart, you just like one of those games, you like every minute that goes by, you just like, man, is it going to be one of these days? Although we were confident, it was just in the back of your mind, like, is this the way this is going to finish? So yeah, it was a bit of a relief to find that goal. It was a nice goal.
How much can a game like this teach you relative to the first three? Obviously, you had Washington and Notre Dame, who are college cup quality, and then you had DePaul, probably a little bit less than what you might see. A lot of the opponents. Seton Hall is very similar in level. Their team is probably a back-end tournament team, similar to a lot of squads in the Big Ten. So how much more do you learn from a game like this, given they're similar in level to most of the competition you're going to see this year relative to what you've seen so far?
Yeah, I think it was I think a credit to our guys. I mean, I think their approach was a sign of respect to just the way they set up, the way they delayed the match. Obviously, in overtime now, you know, you can stay in the game a little closer and look for a restart or transition moment with, you know, 7 and 9 are dangerous if you let them get too big, and I thought we stayed in good shape, and they're big, so I thought their restarts are good. But yeah, I mean, I think Seton Hall was second to Big East last year. This is a good team. I think tonight we again showed some really good quality and didn't let them get into really any rhythm. They had moments that looked good, but so yeah, I think it was another good test, different than DePaul. And obviously we'll get ready for the next one, which will be very different this game.
What were your thoughts on Sam trying to balance on the boards after he scored?
I didn't see that. I'm glad I didn't. He likes to celebrate. I love his passion. He gets the guys. He loves the crowd. That was one of the things when he came here on a visit. I think he said, "Where do we celebrate?" So all these fans are around these spots. He's okay. I love his passion. So I didn't see that. I might remind him that let's not get into celebrating. So, but no, he's got tons of just passion and fire in him.
Speaking of seeing, did you see the red card, and what did you think of it for Seton Hall?
I didn't see it. I saw the moment. I didn't see the elbow live, that close up. Since the video review's great, I think they're taking violent conduct very seriously, and they're reviewing things that maybe an AR or someone thought could be an unintentional, which I think Collins had an unintentional when they reviewed. I just don't want to slow the game down too much. I think a few of them all right, let's make sure these are real things so we're not slowing the game, which tonight was already that kind of pace. So some games you might want the break. But I didn't see it close enough. But to give a straight red, he had to have been very convinced it was a flagrant foul.
The game felt very choppy tonight, a lot of yellow cards. What did you see from the physical perspective?
Yeah, I thought we were a little unfortunate not to get some calls earlier. I was a little upset, quite honestly, because it was physical. They just didn't want us to get any types of looks going to goal, so I think they were like, let's just clip them early or see if we can get the referee not to call some stuff. I don't know, but yeah, it was chippy. And I thought our guys did a good job. I thought Luka just made a silly mistake on his challenge, and then his keeper challenge, you know, was dangerous, knowing that you're on a yellow, and I thought the center handled it well and kind of gave a little bit of a warning. Said that could have been, but no referee likes to give the reds out. So that's why Luka was sitting next to me the rest of the game. And Malone, on a yellow, we're not going to give him a chance to get one late in the game. So I didn't actually want to put Malone back in, but we needed him for just a little spell. Because even when you're trying to make the right play, Luka had no intent. Luka had no intent on both, quite honestly. It was just he was a little late, and that's different than a off the ball or flagrant hand. So I thought we were fair. I didn't think we had any bad fouls. I think we had one foul in the second half. It was probably the one at the end of the game, which was not a smart scenario. So we typically are out foul, as you guys know. So we got to get better in restarts. If teams are going to foul us, we got to punish them. We haven't been clinical enough on restarts, so we got to get better.
Kind of going off that, you got the win at the end of the night, but are there any concerns around 25 corners so far? You haven't scored off them yet?
Our service has to be better. Yeah, I wouldn't say concerns. I think we have different guys that can take it. I think the guys taking it aren't being accurate are capable. It's not that they're incapable of being accurate. We see it in training. Tommy's been inconsistent. Barger's new. We're still evaluating whether he's one that's an option. Quentin, I thought, did some really good service tonight when he came in. Part of the reason that some guys, we want them in different spots. So we could have, a BB take one who would probably be pretty consistent, but we need him in the box finishing. So at some point, the serve has to be better, or we have to make changes. And ideally, we have guys that can finish the play. So I think we'll get there, but not a great start with our reserves this year, corners in particular.
What are some tendencies you've noticed on the attacking third through the first 4 games?
Explosive. I think our combination play's been really good. I think we're super aggressive around the corner. We've been rushing finishes. So one of our big themes is keeping things on frame. We do a really good job of following finishes, and we have to get good working on that. So a lot of our misses are wide and over. So we'll spend a lot of time on keeping it on frame. That gives you a deflection. Like take Tommy's tonight. He took a little off of it. The defender tried to block it. He ends up hitting off his own post. It may have gone in, I don't know, by itself, but then the deflection almost went in. He hits that higher or wider, that's not even got a shot. So we got to do better on shots on frame. And so that's my takeaway of our attack. Getting there, really dangerous spots. Maybe a few finishes from distance we got to be cleaner on too for Patty. Get him a little bit more scoring threat. Restarts, scoring threat, and I think we're creating enough chances with all those elements.
Speaking of Tommy, it feels like at times, especially against Washington, you had him more out wide. You're trying to bring him a bit more centrally, especially in the first half. Is that part of the plan? I guess what you see from him?
Yeah, we're just trying to figure out where maybe our matchup could be. Part of that is the way they were playing. At least the scout, we thought we could utilize Tommy in that spot, and Collins could help us wide. You'll see that continue to change. The nice thing is Tommy's played there, so it's not he understands our shape and how our movement is and our 2 strikers and how we defend. Collins is learning all this on the fly. He's just so dynamic in 1v1 situations, so we feel we have a matchup. Seven didn't defend a lot, so we felt like we could get Tommy or Collins isolated, and we could have a little bit of joy. We just weren't as sharp as we could have been getting the guys in those spots.
Sam has scored and assisted on 3 of the 4 goals this season. As an upperclassman now, what have you seen from him in training or off the field that's led him to 3 of the 4 goals?
He's just improving all areas. He's improving his decision making. There was a moment late in the game that he tried to take a couple guys on. This year he's doing less of that. He's stepping on and bringing BB in the game. He's coming inside and combining his defending. We wouldn't have him in the field late in the game. That's why we gave him the game ball. He finished the goal, but he also was on the field to finish the game. That was not an option until really some point last year, maybe. And he wants to be in the field like we all do. Then we have to be a trusted defender, and he is doing that. So, just great growth from Sammy. He's playing very well. So it's nice to see. Maloon had the assist tonight. Maloon, through our run last year, was I think one of our most effective players. Didn't have great goals or assists, but he's so effective. Tonight, Maloon had a lot of those moments as well. Obviously, got the assist with Sammy. So I really like what Maloon's doing as well. He'll get a goal or 2 when we need it, just like the Greensboro one. Save one of those for big moments. That's good.
Anything else for Coach?
What's the excitement level to just be able to go to Florida first for Friday night?
we're pretty excited about that trip. I mean, it's different. We don't do tons of returns for our classic, because our schedules we can get good games in the region. I thought they would to have a great crowd. I think our team likes playing those atmospheres. I've been to that venue. It's a good venue, and South Florida has a really talented team. I think will present us a way different challenge than maybe what we've seen thus far. But someone in our schedule will play like South Florida, and I think that was intentional to play against that style team. So it's gonna be a tough game. Their record is way not big of abilities. They're a nice team, very talented, very skillful.
We may not get a chance to talk again before then, so if you have any questions.
Well, some of the preparation, because against Notre Dame, that was a pretty ridiculous weather game with the heat and humidity, and you might see something similar with that on Friday night. What is?
Yeah, a rotation a little bit more. I mean, you saw us bring in, Evans up BB 2 games or 3. We brought him out. Hugo, I think he was cramping a bit, so we had Jansen. He's ready to go. Just be ready to put guys in. You don't like to take out 2 backs in a game. It's rare, but we're not stubborn. You'll see a little bit maybe more in the midfield tonight. Q came in and gave Jack a rest. Patty can go all day, but at some point you might need him saw Wardo get in the rotation tonight because of Luca, with his card situation. So we have other guys we haven't dug into yet. So I'm excited. This will be 3 days of some training that we can evaluate. 2 days of training, I should say, to see where guys are and we get ready for. It'll be a fun game. I'm excited for it.
Anything else for Coach?
Coach, for Friday, should we expect more of a change in tactics for Fridays because of the tired aspect of it?
I think physically we can be on the front foot and get after this team. If we feel like we can't, then we might draw a line of confrontation a little different. But this is a team. We don't really do great when we sit. We like to get after it, and I feel us will be aggressive against South Florida. That said, they have really talented players. They can kind of unbalance you, and maybe some risk moments for them. And we have to be ready to be able to defend in transition, also defend kind of in the open field. So we'll talk about that. But yeah, if we feel like it's not working, we're not stubborn. We'll change what we're doing. We like teams to change a little bit for us, as much as we change for them. So I think you'll see a team that really likes to play through every line. They have really talented players all over the field. So tonight you saw a Seton Hall team that just kind of wanted to go play for seconds. They didn't play through their lines very much. And I think this game Friday will be very much different. They'll play through all the lines for the most part.
Anything else? All right. Thanks, guys.